ticking along at the moment, Brendan?
Yeah, no, very happy. Looking forward to playing some games at home. You know, it's been 6 games away out of the 7, so it's good to be home for a few games.
But it must be good to know that their away form's still there. It doesn't seem like they're missing a beat even if they're not on the home court.
No, we talked about being strong early, if we could, you know, just to establish our authority, the road warrior type mentality. Teams I've coached in the past, I think if you want to win, you know, championships, you've got to be able to play away, and we talked about that. So we've really displayed, you know, those capabilities really well so far in the season.
Is that just a round the court effort, or has there been a particular focus on offense, defense, anything like that?
Well, look, you've got to focus on both ends of the game, and we're showing that we're really, really strong offensively, and teams are having trouble defending us. And when they go on a zone, we probably only had trouble in one game, you know, just for half a quarter. And so we're pretty well prepared, we think, for any man-to-man defence or any zone defence. And at the same time, you know, our defence is the best in the league. That was a goal of ours. And already, you know, in 7 games, we are the #1 defensive team in the league, and that's pretty important to maintain that now.
And you said Marquise would 100% be back by Saturday. Is that confirmed for this week?
Yeah, look, it's unlikely. I think he'll play. You know, he's just having a really, really bad run. And so we played him against Kilsyth. The doctors said he'd be able to play, and he didn't recover really. He really struggled in that game, so we didn't play him the next day. So I'd say it's unlikely we'll play him, so we'll make sure we got him for the following week and hopefully can remain injury-free because he's a pretty good player, and you know that's something, you know, that we haven't seen the best of yet with Marquise, so that means we've got a lot of room for improvement, obviously, when he starts to get healthy and play well for us.
Have you got a lot of faith in the depth of the squad? You confident he can be replaced well?
Well, we've been playing without him pretty much. He's played 1 full game, you know, out of the 7 games, so you know, he played, I think it was 12 minutes against Albury and had 17 points, and he had 14 minutes against Kilsyth. So, you know, we've shown that we can play without him, but we certainly need him. You know, if we're, you know, when it comes to the crunch, as we get later in the season, the finals, I think it'd be challenging to not have him and have that depth, you know, with him in the team. Because right now Sam's carrying a pretty heavy load at the point guard position. And when you play the better teams, you need somebody else that can go into that position, and he's really the only one. So I'm compensating with Quiney right now, and the fact that Foxy and Jerry can handle the ball, we utilise those guys. So, you know, I'm well aware of their strengths and weaknesses, but we definitely need him healthy and fit. Yeah.
And when you had an ankle injury, have tests shown anything more specific?
Yeah, it's an ankle injury, obviously, you know, swelled up, and usually you can play with them, but they're quite painful, as you know. And in the first game, he played with it, swelled up a little bit, and so we got the swelling down. So we figured we might as well try and get it 100%. We didn't play him the next day. It was really, I never really had any intention of playing him against Alphen after seeing that. So, you know, now against the CoE, we've just got 1 game this weekend, and it's at home. I think we can really work hard to get him 100% for the doubleheader the following week.
Yeah, look, you're obviously coming back on a lot of momentum. Are you guys expecting a pretty good crowd?
I'd hope so. If you build it, they will come. You know that movie? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Field of Dreams, and I'm a believer in that. Nobody likes, well, people don't follow losers, you know, so that's a fact. And we're winning, so I'm hoping, you know, and we wanted to win enough games to obviously ignite enthusiasm within the community, and I think we've done that. Obviously away from home, so I'm hoping we've got a packed house because we need to make this place a fortress. Mm-hmm. You know, our goal is to obviously make the playoffs, and the way it's going now, the next goal would be, you know, it's still probably too early to tell and say, but you know, you just build your goals or change them as you go along, but the goal would be to get a home final. So what we want this place is to be a fortress come playoff time. It'd be good if we can get it off, you know, in our second home game, which is it's been a month. So if anyone's starved the basketball, get down here to support us, because we're playing hard and we're playing well, and we're really competitive, and we're serious about it. So really looking forward to playing at home.
And look, you're obviously versing the centre of excellence, so you know, young kids from the AAS, I imagine they're going to be playing a pretty fast tempo. Are you guys looking forward to matching that, or?
Yeah, well, the centre of excellence, you know, the best kids in the country, and they're usually pretty cocky. Haven't worked there myself, you know. I was in charge of the girls for 4 years, not coaching them, but in charge of the program. And we encourage them to back themselves. You know, when you're in that role because they are young. We don't want them to be intimidated. So I've already got inside information from other teams that they're pretty cocky. So, but they're usually talented and long, you know, because you selected players really not on their ability now, but their potential to play for Australia. So, you know, all these kids, they're fairly lanky and not necessarily filled out, but they're usually, you know, really talented, cocky and pretty good basketball. So if you're not on your game, they're going to beat you. They've already won a few games. I think they're 4-3, and so they know on their night, you know, they can beat you if you're not ready to play them.
And just lastly, did it come as a surprise to win that many games in the road? Is it?
Well, you know, it's an old cliche. What I've been telling you is we take one game at a time. But the goal was probably inside. You know, with me, I would have been happy with 5-2. And that's a big statement in itself because we had new players and no one was really talking about us, no one was giving us a chance because they're guys that were really playing in the NBL and they want to make the NBL and it's the fact it's a new team. People usually takes time, but I think we've done a great job with the type of people we selected, a good bunch of guys, and the style of play suits, you know, each individual. So we're going to be something to deal with because we're not playing out at best yet either, and like we've hardly had marquees. So. And I know that, and we're going to, you know, everyone's going to improve, but there's still a lot of room for improvement. We're still adding little pieces into what we do offensively and defensively as we go along. You give people too much information early, it can paralyse them. So, you know, we reduce the information and how we want to play, and we've been adding pieces as we go along, which makes us tougher to beat. So, you know, I would have been happy with 5-2, but I think I'm a little bit happy with 7-0. So, you know, it sets us up really well. But the danger now is, are we overconfident? Are we feeling too good about ourselves? You know, and my experience, you know, I keep that drumming into. I've seen a lot of it, and I know how to manage it. But even though you talk about it, sometimes it's going to happen. You know, and so the goal is now to continue to respect everyone. Because all of a sudden now we are being talked about. Kilsyth was consistently talked about as the championship team favourites, and we just knocked them off on our own court. So. I actually don't know if anyone is talking about us because we're here in Ballarat. So all we do is focus on how we play, try and improve, and the next opponent, which is the centre of excellence. So we've got to build on the good work we've already done. There you go.
Olivia, how's the mood change now that you've got a win?
I mean, it kind of, everyone's a little bit happier. Obviously getting a win, it feels good, so we want to keep that momentum kind of going. But yeah, everyone's just a little bit happier. We've kind of changed the way we practice too. I mean, obviously we still have plenty of things to work on, but you know, it's a different type of feel. So.
Dan, what do you think was the catalyst on Sunday for you guys clinching that win?
Defensively, I think we buckled down towards the end where usually we would kind of fall apart, and then offensively we kind of stayed composed as well. Getting 2, I think, big rebounds at the end really helped us to seal that.
Do you think maybe having a couple of string of home games coming up soon, it's going to be a good chance to get in front of a home crowd and keep that momentum going as well?
I definitely think so. It feels good when you don't have to travel. Plus, it's really nice, the backing that we have from the community here. So it's awesome to play in front of a crowd that supports really well.
And what was the difference like having Shanice back in the team over the weekend?
She definitely brings that experience that we need on the court. Just having that experience really helps us stay composed on both the defense and offensive side of things. So that was huge, and obviously she was scoring in the first half, so that really helped us.
Are there any facets of your own, Olivia, that you've been really pleased with, or even anything that you might be looking to work on in this weekend's game?
I think defensively, there's lots of things I can improve on, but then offensively, knowing the flow of things as well could benefit us. So I just have to kind of work on defensively, staying aggressive, but not fouling, and then offensively, looking to take my shot whenever it comes.
And Brendan said that you could get these next 3 wins and you could be 4-6. Do you think this is a real chance to turn your season around?
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, every team in our league is obviously really good, but we're also really good, and we just have to focus on what we can control. So energy, effort, toughness, and then kind of go from there. But yeah.
And what do you know about the Centre of Excellence girls?
We know that they're a little bit younger, but they still are very skilled. So, I mean, for us, it's just going to be kind of playing our game and knowing, I mean, we've scouted them, obviously, so just knowing what they like to run and how we can kind of defend that.
And is there a certain player you are watching for the weekend?
Personally, no. I think they have a lot of pieces that work really well together, so we just have to play our game and help each other out and contain them. We should get the win.
I don't think they've won a game yet. Are you expecting a pretty desperate performance from them to?
Definitely. I mean, we've been in that situation where we haven't won, and for us, it kind of amplified everything. We're trying so hard to get that win. We know they're going to be doing the same thing. So we've been in their position, and we gotta figure out a way to hold them off.
And look, they're young. They like to press. Like very fast pace.
Yes.
You think you can match them with that?
I think so. Yeah, I think we have a lot of guards who are really quick, and I think if we can beat their press, we'll get easy buckets on the opposite end.
Obviously, you're a very new team at the start of the year. It's often surprising to see a team that's just put together, win so many games just on the trot straight away. Has it surprised you how quickly everyone's gelled together?
Yeah, I would say so, but Coach is doing a great job with putting us in situations for us to be successful. And like I said, we all come in each week and try and get better, and we take our training sessions very seriously. It's showing on the court.
And on the court, what has gone right? Do you think it's been offensive efforts that have really, been the headlines, or is it stuff on the defensive end, or maybe both?
100% defensively. We have patches where we go cold in offense, but our defense seems to stay strong for 4 quarters, and I think that's what's getting us over the top, and it's going to help us in the long run.
And you're missing Marquez this weekend. How's that going to change things?
We would love to have him, of course, but we started off without him, and of course we're going to miss him. And when he comes back, that's just another tool that we'll have in the toolbox, and I think it'll make us an even more dangerous team.
Yeah, but look back at home. He's looking at playing in front of the home crowd for the first time in 5 weeks or so.
Yeah, so it's been a long time. We've been traveling each week. That's tough on your body. I think we felt that the most this week with the doubleheader with Kilside and Delton. Being able to sleep in your bed and play at home is going to be fun. I can't wait to play in front of the Ballarat crowd, and we're having a great time with playing Indigo. So looking forward to that again.
And do you think a good crowd will give the boys a real boost on the court?
For sure, that's always a little extra edge you get. Definitely.
And Brendan said the CoE guys are a bit cocky. What do you think of the boys you're going to be up against?
They're the best young talent, so you expect them to be cocky. You just have to come out early and just don't give them that cushion or edge to make them want to talk trash or get cocky with you. Just try to put it away early if possible.
Do you think maybe that defense that you were talking about before, is that going to give the young talents from there a bit of a wake-up call in maybe the first quarter or so?
That's the plan. I don't want to jinx myself on the team, but for sure that's the plan.
With them obviously being so young and somewhat underdeveloped, is getting the ball down low and really trying to use your strength, is that going to be an advantage for you guys?
I believe that will be an advantage, but I think we need to stick to our rules and play the way we play and make them do the adjustment. And I think that'll take us and put us over the edge.
Do you think you're having a height advantage as well?
I don't know. On tape, those kids are pretty big, so I wouldn't say that, but I don't know if they have anyone bigger than Dang, so I'll take it.